you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
Nathan Hansen. Oh, I am certain that works.
Yes, I am certain too, Bella Verita. I am certain because it's Nathan Hansen, maverick, amazing human serving our country. Of course, come to Nathan in a couple of moments. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. I'm slightly out of breath because I was sprinting from quickly resetting after a beautiful hour and 45-minute speaking engagement that I'm just coming off of, which I'm super grateful for. Superpower of influence. Let's rock and roll. Bella, who has Nathan brought in this heart-centered, growth-minded group? Because that's him. And I presume that will reflect this group. Let's go. Let's go.
Sean, we have 9 superhero veterans and impactor leaders on Nathan's Heart of Influence today, coming out of clown cars. And first, from Atlanta, Georgia, previously a board member for the Boys and Girls Club, coaching and guiding any disadvantaged youth he could get connected to, hiked the entire Appalachian Trail in the winter, raising money for awareness and prevention for veteran suicide. Army veteran, thank you for your service. Served 10 years, infantry officer deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, a practicing attorney for 4 years now guiding individuals to find their true north path. Let's welcome to the show, Earl Chico Porter.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Earl, thank you for your service to our nation. Dude, hiking the entire Appalachian Trail, that's wild, incredible. And we're going to kick this off, Earl, with a fun fact. Now, this is a piece that Bella did not cover in the green room, as she just told me, but the fun fact's got to be a headline, especially with 9 people, because we'll never, ever finish. So it's a headline. A headline's like, hey, I'm a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive. That's a headline. Not a headline is, in 1975, my mom found out that I was going to go blind. And then the story begins, right? So it's just like a headline. So we would learn something about you that could be a brave moment, a courageous moment, an adventurous moment, a funny moment, a silly moment, some moment you're proud of, whatever it is, but just a fact that'll make us go, wow, Earl, no way. And for the group. So Earl, the pressure's on because everybody's going to model what you do, not what I say. So we've done this 1,250 times the show. And if the first person goes into the story, everybody goes into the story. So Earl, the pressure's on, but what is your headline fun fact, please?
It is a contrast with 2 facts. One, I'm a mountain warfare airborne qualified person who's afraid of heights. And that's less daunting than going to law school after leaving home at 14 and never applying myself academically.
Wow.
Bro, no way. Outstanding. Thank you for your service to our nation. Thank you for leading so optimally in creating a fun fact. Dude, you're awesome. I mean, you know you're awesome. I just want you to know that we know that you're awesome. Thanks for being here today, Earl. Let's go. Bella, Earl's got it. Let's go.
Earl's got it. Coming from Dallas, Texas, had his first child at 17, an Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service. That has been in the financial market since 1999. Worked in the hedge fund world, trading energy for years versus commodities and futures. Created his own fund dedicated to energy trading strategies, sold his practice, looking to be part of a powerful team contributing to the business development of that organization. Let's welcome to the show, Toby Lofton.
Toby, thank you as well for your service to our nation. And please, your fun fact.
Well, I'm sure Sean and Pete are wondering how you had a child at the age of 17 and you graduated from the Air Force Academy. So that's a story that takes a little bit longer to tell. But the most important fact about me is that I'm a husband to Leanne, 18 years. I got 4 kids and 1 granddaughter. I was a grandpa at the age of 37. That's it. That's the main thing.
Super cool fun fact. I love the energy. And now I have one critically important question for you. And it's just a 1-word answer, please. Is Texas in the South or the West?
Well, you asked a boy from Louisiana that question. I'm going to have to say it's in the West. It's not.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That is.
Blind. I was trying to give you a hint. He was blind and you didn't catch it.
Most Texans would just say it's its own country.
Yes,
Yes.
Thank you, Austin.
So Bella's from Texas, and I say Texas in the West. She says the South. It's an ongoing thing. So whenever anybody's from Texas, we always ask a question. So thank you for that, Bella. One more in the It's in the West category. Who else is here, Bella? I love you.
Yes, well, we'll see by the end of the show because we got a few Texans here, so we'll see where the score.
We don't have enough time. We only have enough time. We only ask one Texan.
We don't have enough time because you don't want everybody else's answer. So let's find out what this next gentleman has to say. Graduated from the Air Force Academy, spent most of his career in the Medical Service Corps, a real estate portfolio of over 700 doors with his badass brother and partner, converting hotels and extended stay into long-term rentals, all while on active duty. Thank you for your service. About to retire, creating investment fund for investing in their current and future real estate deals, advocating for mental health and special needs, which Sean may need help with at the end of the show. But let's welcome to the show, Brett Hadley.
Thank you all.
Brett, thank you. Welcome to Nathan Hansen's Heart of Influence, and thank you as well for your service to our nation. And please, your fun fact.
Well, Sean, I during COVID was diagnosed as I was heading to Afghanistan with MS. My daughter, a week later, was diagnosed with Tourette's and a functional neurological disorder, and it was a mental health crisis. Let's just be honest. And she recently got removed from Catholic school, and now she went downhill spiral. So we are on a mission to solve the mental health crisis.
Amen, brother. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. That is not nothing, present to it, and could not be more aligned in solving the mental health crisis in this nation. Footnote, I was with one of incredibly respected psychiatrists this weekend who's in our Unblinded Elite program when I was out in San Francisco, Sacramento, and then San Francisco surfing. And his mission is to recreate the entire mental health industry because of the challenges of just not serving people. So present to it, hearts are there. And thank you so much for being here. And again, thoughts and prayers are with you and your family.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay. Bella Verita.
Thank you for that. Next up, from Los Angeles, California, an Air Force Academy graduate, flew combat missions over Kosovo and Siberia through Korea. Did I even come close, Nathan? Through his professional development provided during his military service, obtained his MBA, transitioned to the civilian world of insurance, began insuring businesses, the complex space of combining finance, legal, mitigating risks for clients, serving professional services in the millions to corporate space into the billions. Let's welcome to the show, Sean Bernardini.
Thanks, Bella. Yes, Sean Bernardini, thanks so much for the intro. Fun fact, I guess, my brother, my mother, and I all failed our driver's test. I failed second grade and Catholic school, Brett, so I know what your daughter was dealing with. And then I eventually was I learned how to fly an airplane before I could drive a car properly, apparently. And I remember as a brand new captain, they let me escort Bill Clinton out of Pristina, Kosovo in his C-17, which I thought was pretty cool. I was looking over his wing thinking, wow, I've come a long way. So I guess fun fact.
Sean, drop
you can fail second grade and still fly F-16s.
So what I'm hearing is you failed second grade and you failed your driver's test. And you eventually progressed to being a captain in the United States Air Force flying Bill Clinton out of Kosovo. Am I hearing you correctly, Sean?
That's correct, yes. And I flew with Nate Hansen as well, too. So that's probably most important.
So we've had more than 8,000 people on the show. And that is a top 10 all-time cool fun fact for sure. And I'm going to say this. And I'm going to desperately try for us not to go over today. It's going to be really challenging already because so many beautiful souls are here. Thank you for your service. And to everybody, if you guys don't get what your background does, like the dynamic of I'm a former professional athlete, somebody saying that opens listening. What you all have done opens listening of not only the mind, but the heart. It's crazy. The doors that open when you have done what you have done and sacrificed what you have for this country, when it's appropriately and optimally, skillfully presented, just like flying an airplane, there's a certain skill set. How you do that integrously is a skill set. And once it's done, listening is open and you can cause so much integrous good and grow so much stuff. So in beautiful integrity. So Sean, thank you for that. And it's just like is exploding to the screen as we go person to person to person who has served our country the way you guys have. It's like clear and it's here. So I offer you that. If we never speak again, Bella, who else is here?
Coming from Niceville, Florida, a CEO nonprofit that helps special operations take unique skill sets and create fulfilling second half careers to continue serving and leading. A retired colonel with 20 years of leadership, an Air Force Special Ops pilot, and a combat aviation advisor, and a Joint Special Ops Command. Woo! Started 2 nonprofits with his wife, serving underprivileged kids, introducing kids in Arizona and Florida to nature and outdoor activities. Thank you for your service. Welcome to the show, Mr. Austin Moore.
Thank you.
Colonel, thank you for being here today. Appreciate you, and please your fun fact.
All right, I'm going to weave 3 in here if you don't mind. But I started thinking about my fun fact and hey, what led to that? But the truth is, I think I saw the first Top Gun when I was 12 years old, and it said, you know what? I want to play beach volleyball in jeans. I want to have patches that can actually fit on a jacket. So I decided about 12 years old that I was going to be a pilot, and I grew up under some pretty harsh circumstances, pretty poor most of the time, but found my way to college on a wrestling scholarship. Another fun fact: I do have a twin brother. Looks very similar to me, as you might expect. And prior to heading off to pilot training to start what ended up to be about a 26-year career, I fully intended on going to Hollywood to be an actor. So I also have a minor in theater, and that was the goal. But, God had other plans for me. So here we are.
Awesome. Well, Colonel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the service. And I wonder if you're only 12, but maybe if it was 14, if there would have been some other dynamics of that movie, as well as some of the people that are like watching the volleyball games that would have created an attraction towards being a Top Gun. But I am clear that all those things were fully present. Bella Verita, we got some heroes in the space. Let's go.
We definitely have some heroes in the space. Next, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, a U.S. Navy Academy graduate, former P-3 Orrin pilot, sought to dominate the business world after his military career. Thank you for your service. Many years in corporate leadership, began as a consultant specializing in branding and licensing, a $340 billion a year market, authored several books, including a textbook, and seeking to integrate his teaching and consulting into the app using artificial intelligence. Let's welcome to the show, Pete Cantalico.
Thank you, everyone.
Pete, thank you for being here. Congratulations on all your impact and continued success. And thank you for your service. Please, your fun fact.
So my fun fact is I helped lead the agency of record for Samsung in 2004 on the Global Olympic Torch Relay. I spent 35 days going to 33 cities in 27 countries with the Olympic Flame.
Wow.
And spent about 5 hours with about 10 other people in Tiananmen Square, and that's it, 10 other people, and led a vehicle around the city of Beijing. And the my translator on the trip that day said, "Pete, I think you have more people coming out to visit you than President Nixon did when he came in 1970."
That's awesome. Well, Pete, one incredible fun fact after another. Thanks for being here. And again, congratulations on it all. Bella Verita, come on.
Let's do it. Next, from Augusta, Georgia, 20-year Army veteran. Thank you for your service. Accumulated 6 combat tours, 4 NATO peacekeeping missions across 5 continents, covering IT infrastructure in over 63 countries. Nathan, where did you find these people? A senior IT project consultant looking to put together a dynamic team and conquer the world of government contracting. Let's welcome to the show, Douglas Rendles.
Douglas, thank you for your service. Warm welcome to Nathan Hansen's Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Fun fact is, I think one of the reasons why I was put here on Earth was to make people laugh. So I've been known to even take that to the stage and try my hand at stand-up comedy, which is, kind of hilarious. I'm married to my wife, who is a therapist who specializes in sex therapy, but I promise you it's nowhere as fun as it sounds. So typically I introduce myself, or when somebody's asking me something or they're seeking advice, so I tell them I'm not a therapist, but I sleep with one. So I think that gives me some kind of street cred. And I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. So my 2 favorite football teams is, of course, the Detroit Lions and whoever beats the Cowboys. I have an unhealthy despise for Cowboys and Cowboy fans.
Then Bella's got a fun fact for you today.
That I do.
Appreciate that. Bella Verita, Douglas is in the house. I have a lot of things I want to say. I'd have to measure them appropriately to make them appropriate enough for the thing, but super cool fun fact, Douglas. Let's go.
Yes. And then Nathan, we have a Frederick Daniel here. And they do not have a bio, so I don't know, but he's not on camera, not on mute. So,
and I didn't invite anyone by the name of Frederick Daniel.
Well, actually, I invited him.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
All right, so he's here hanging out with Douglas.
Yeah, he's like my wingman. I think he might be driving right now, though.
Okay, perfect. All right, sounds good. So then I'll introduce the man that brought us all here together today from Niceville, Florida, a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel and fighter pilot. Of course, thank you for your service, Nathan. Flew combat missions over 5 countries, 2 continents, an Olmsted Scholar, spending 2 years in Valencia, Spain, earning an MBA in Spanish, a commercial airline pilot for Air Southwest Airlines, and he's not When he's not flying, he consults, trains, coaches business owners to achieve their dream in money, time, and magic. Let's welcome to his show, Mr. Nathan Hanson.
Thank you, Bella.
Lieutenant Colonel Hanson, thank you for all that you do, for your service, for your leadership. And quick fact about Nathan. Well, I want to steal his fun fact in case it is. Nathan, please, your fun fact, and thank you for bringing us all together today.
Well, thank you, Sean. The one that just kind of stands out now is probably because Sean was there at the time. There, just before 9/11 happened, there was a problem with fighter pilots flying into North Korea while I was stationed in South Korea. And we had 2 incursions across the border, flying over the DMZ. One was an F-18 that had a navigation problem, went in about 8 miles. And if you don't think that the SAM operators on the border that did not shoot that F-18 down weren't, hung ceremonially in, Pyongyang Square, you're wrong. And so because when all this happened, I happened to be the only forward air control qualified close air support flight lead in the squadron, and I got the privilege of flying the new group commander colonel into the area right near the demilitarized zone, and my only job was to not fly into North Korea. And so I was able to do that with Colonel Rule Dog. I can't really remember his name, but we survived. We came back, and we did not get shot down. So that's my fun fact.
Wow, dude, Nathan, there are no words. Thank you, Nathan, and assembling this crew. This is, out of 1,250 episodes, this is unquestionably the episode where the greatest degree of gratitude, patriotism, possibility is present. So thank you for that, Nathan. And sir, shall we do the things?
Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm going to introduce our co-host, who very confusedly thinks Texas is in the South as opposed to the West. She began her career in influence and causing yes as an 8-year-old, selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. By the age of 19, this isn't easy to do, was generating 7 figures in the space of network marketing. Like, who does that? 24 years old, she was three-peating like Jordan, except not in hoops. She's only 5'3". She wasn't raining threes, but she was racking up business brokerage deals. The #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, 24 years old, male-dominated industry, the first woman ever to do it, let alone 3 straight times, and the youngest person, male or female, ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker. She began to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team, every single one that she worked with doubled their sales. And since then, she's also become an adventurer, skiing, surfing, scuba diving in the most extreme of conditions. Nathan and all maybe showing how to do that on YouTube, or maybe from a blind man. It depends on the stock of the blind man on that day. It does go up and it does plummet down. She's also a published author, twice, about to be 3 times, and philanthropist, raising nearly $10 million with the Unblinded team for charity over the past 2.5 years. And in 2023, this heart-centered, courageous leader publicly battled and defeated cancer. Let's welcome to the Heart of Influence the woman that put the heart in it on Nathan Hanson's show, Bella Verita.
Wow, impressive.
Bella Verita.
Thank you. Thank you. And before I share my fun facts in true authenticity, I do want to thank everybody for their service. I am a daughter of a veteran, and my father's service to our country is the thing that he is most proud of. And so it really, truly is an honor and a privilege to be here with you all today. So thank you for everything that you've done for our country.
Three tour, Bella's that 3-tour combat veteran, 2 tours in Vietnam, 1 tour in Desert Storm.
Yes, and has letters from presidents that Sean always remembers better than I do. So definitely thank you all for
and a beautiful FU Jane Fonda sticker in his office with his medal.
Yes, he's very proud of that. And then my fun fact, Douglas and everyone, is that I come from Texas, so I come from a line of Cowboy fans, and my mother has a Dallas Cowboy tramp stamp. That's my fun fact for you, Douglas.
Yes.
Douglas is not amused. We have lost Douglas. Douglas has disappeared into the abyss. We have lost him.
Yes, this is absolutely amazing. So from the heights of patriotism defending our nation to Dallas Cowboy tram stamps, we covered all here. That's Bella Vreda.
We have covered it all. Yes.
Yes.
And let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. Totally true. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's flying out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey thought he was so cool that they named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, MasterCard, just got done speaking for Mass Mutual. When he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist that in the last 2 years raised nearly $10 million for refugees in Ukraine. Let's welcome my heart-centered co-host, Sean Callagy.
Thank you. So I'll run a couple of quick relevant fun facts. Thank you so much for that, Bella, Nathan, everybody for being here. One, I think it's appropriate to say, I love this nation and have so much gratitude for it. The level at which cannot be overstated. Just the depth of love. And that's not a political statement. That shouldn't even have to be thought of as a political statement. I know it's not by the folks here, but anywhere in the world to love this incredible country, number one. Number two, I had the privilege of flying to the Ukraine 2.5 weeks after the Russians were pushed back out in Kiev, or Kyiv, depending on your pronunciation, and met with Colonel Andy Milburn and the Mozart Group for some incredible heroes doing a whole bunch of great stuff that's over there. And quick third fun fact is I am a blind person that surfs in hurricanes, that skis double black diamonds in blizzards, that scuba dives with sharks, and is I almost had a massive experience at right near the break of Mavericks in San Francisco Monday of this week. Crazy conditions, absolutely insane. And I love adventure and the outdoors. And Nathan Hansen, in our recent immersion to Grand Cayman, was the only other person besides me to free dive down and touch the bottom in 60 feet of water. And Nathan, you're a rock star, but I truly love free diving as well. So, Bella, those are a few of my quick fun facts.
Those are some super fun facts. Are you ready to do this thing, Sean Callagy?
Ready to do the thing. Bella, who's going first as we explore the superpower of integrous influence?
Well, since he said Texas is in the West, Toby's definitely got to go first.
So Toby, here's what we're doing. If anybody knows anything about this, it's you guys, that the ability to cause yes is superpower. It's what causes our leadership, our management, our recruitment, our fundraising for charity, for profit, marketing or selling. Everything happens after yes. That's what it's about. But how do we create yes? How do we create yes, especially when we're not in hierarchical structures that give us power and leverage with people, but people who don't know, people that we need to enroll in things, whether from a different country that's under attack, or instead where we're selling or marketing or recruiting people and things. So any yes, Toby, that's relevant to you is what we're going to talk about. But this superpower, it's not taught in school. How do we do this? Not pitching, hooking, closing. Yuck. Who wants that? But when sophisticated, heart-centered people come together with a meaningful level of mastery like this group, what does the science of causing yes actually look like when yes should integrously happen? So Toby, Bella could be anybody you wanted to be. She could be a charitable fundraising partner. She could be an ideal client. She could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, anybody that you'd be wanting to create a yes with. And Toby, it doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. It could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So Toby, please, who would you like Bella Vreda to be?
Now you regret saying Texas is in the West, don't you?
Not yet. I mean, goodness gracious. I guess it would be someone who has influence over purchasing power at a major defense contractor.
Awesome. Bella, you got the checkbook at a major defense contractor. You like that checkbook? Toby's got some thoughts. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, this is Toby Lofton. And we're playing like we're on the phone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm
Yeah, so
calling.
it's a 3-minute. I think maybe we actually didn't mention that. So yes, it's a 3-minute role play. I'm going to be anyone that you want me to be. That you're going from hello to yes with. So that's who I am. So we're jumping into that. Yes.
All right. So we're on the phone. Let's just kind of merge into the conversation. So I understand that you're in a position of great responsibility at the organization known as Raytheon. I'm just going to pretend it's Raytheon.
That is correct. Yes.
And I'd love to learn more about your needs and specifications of components that would go into the systems that you guys are developing for your customers.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know, Toby, first of all, thank you for calling. Sorry, we only had a couple of minutes today. But the team said, you know, definitely meet with you. I think you have some idea of, you know, some of the things that we are looking for. And since we only have a couple of minutes today, you know, I'd like to learn just a little bit about you, what you think you can offer. And then if we can have a longer meeting, then we'll schedule something, you know, maybe over the next day or two.
Sure. So I'm representing a chip company, semiconductor company that uses photons instead of electrons to transmit signals and data. And there's a number of advantages associated with that over microelectronics. And so I think there's some overlap in interests where we can potentially help you increase your lethality and systems performance. And so that's the highlight.
Got it. And we've actually had quite a few people that have, you know, this is obviously something that we need to look at. We've had quite a few people that have reached out to us in this space. Anything that you would want me to know about you in like our final minute of, you know, why I would want to take that meeting with you, you know, versus the guy that called me 10 minutes ago?
Sure. Yeah, there's a list of distinct advantages associated with our approach. And since we have limited time, I'd love to send that to you in a very concise briefing. So if you're willing to receive that email, I'll send it out.
I will definitely receive that email, but I would just love to know in, you know, 30 seconds, since I have the time right now, just, you know, what you would like for me to know that is that you over the last guy I talked to 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, most of the competition in our space is silicon photonics based. We use a process that's called heterogeneous photonic integration, and it sets it apart for a number of reasons. It's heat dissipation. The processing speed is orders of magnitude greater than the competition. So those are the two main things that I would convey.
Got it. Okay. So definitely send over the information, and then we'll look at having a meeting next week.
Thank you.
Toby, thank you.
I would like an Academy Award, Nathan and Sean, because I have no idea what Toby was talking about. Nathan's laughing, photons, electrons, all these things, but I think I get an Academy Award.
But Bella, you are exponentially ahead of the competition as well.
Yeah.
So perfect. Let's go.
Absolutely. Next up, we got Chico.
Chico? Chico,
Yes.
who would you like to? Who would you like?
A young law firm owner, or maybe a middle-aged law firm owner with a bunch of young attorneys and other professionals looking to implement some type of leadership development, whether, you know, coaching on the one-on-one.
I'm not as sure about this whole middle-age thing, but I am looking at purchasing Cataloghy Law, so let's go. Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, how are you doing? I got your information from a colleague of mine who said he heard a keynote speaking engagement I did and thought I might be able to add value to your law firm. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, super busy today. You know, we just took over the law firm not that long ago, and I do remember someone saying they were going to connect us. I just didn't remember who that was.
Well, awesome. I'm a part of an organization called Making Organized Noise, and we help young professionals bring their full potential to the workplace, especially attorneys. I've served 4 years as an attorney myself, and I bring 10 years of military experience to the table to nest leadership development and decision-making concepts into your organization. I understand you got a young population of attorneys, and a lot of times we've noticed they didn't socialize so well through that COVID bubble. Have you noticed a little less emotional intelligence in your youngest attorneys?
You know, I hadn't thought about it, but now that you kind of mention it, you know, I didn't really think about it too hard, but now I can see what you're saying.
Well, my first couple of years as an attorney was going through COVID, and if it wasn't for my time in the military, I probably wouldn't have had the initiative I took to learn my area of practice. I was an employee benefits attorney, and employee benefits is something that you have to provide, and in your wellness products. Do you happen to have any type of executive coaching program?
We don't currently.
Well, we don't have enough time today, but I would love to do a follow-on conversation with you, get to know your firm a little bit more, let you get to know me a little bit more, and see if there's a way my firm could add value to yours.
I think that sounds great. You did become highly recommended, and you know, would love to have a conversation and see what that might look like.
Awesome. Well, I'll be following up with your attendant after this and get on your schedule. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Nice job, Chico. Great job, Toby. Now, everybody, judges, this is the time that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Chico or Toby, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little like next step system. Is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Chico or Toby? I don't think that's gonna need to happen. You might need some photons and some electrons and some things like that. So no root canals today. However, you know, maybe the next step is a little mocha chocolate at Starbucks, a little croissant, maybe a cup of coffee to have a little bit longer of a meaning. But if that's not enough time for Toby or Chico, maybe you're willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, which that would be surprising if any of you are. However, if you are, maybe you're having salad and french fries instead of that nice porterhouse or filet. But you're not going to skip out on dessert because you definitely want to have a longer conversation. And if that's still not enough time, you would be willing to rob an F-16 and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting possible with Toby or Chico. So let's kick it off with Austin. And Austin, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chico?
No, for Chico, I was going to start with Toby, but Chico, that was fantastic. I mean, obviously you're squared away with your pitch. I think you absolutely know your business. You're very personable. You know, you established a rapport or somewhat of a rapport right away within 3 minutes, and that's a tough thing to do. You know, as far as feedback, though, you know, I think any conversation is even 30, 3 minutes is worth asking that person a little bit about themselves in order to, build a connection, drive parallel, those things that you have in common.
Awesome. Well, Austin, thank you. And what will be the follow-up? A little cup of coffee, private room, steak dinner, flight somewhere? Like, what will be the next step?
For Chico?
Yes.
Absolutely need to seal that next appointment and get that on the calendar right away, whatever it is, right? So,
cool.
You know, I would say at a minimum a cup of coffee, but I guess that all depends on exactly what you're trying to go for and your proximity to that person.
All right. Thank you, Austin. Bill, Rita, we got follow-ups coming. Cup of coffee plus. Let's go.
We got follow-ups coming up. Next up, we got Sean. Sean, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Toby?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's interesting, the dynamic between Toby and Chico, because Chico is selling a product that you don't currently buy, and Toby's selling your product that you currently buy, but he's trying to bring an alternative. So much different sales approach has to be. So Chico has to do more relationship, and Toby's really about the nitty gritty. Hey, I got a product that dissipates heat. I'm assuming less battery power. Missiles tend to use batteries, right? So less battery, but less dissipates heat, and it's processing power is better. So you know, like he's selling technology, and technology is about facts, where, you know, I think, like I said, Chico's selling more relationship to try to get you to buy something you haven't bought before. So different skill sets required. I thought Toby did a great job. I mean, you know, you tell your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. You did differentiate, and I think that was good, because it's always a fine line between, you know, bad mouthing your competition, if you will, but differentiating. And then I think the only question, this is nuance. It's like, you know, is, you know, generally, you know, can I send you an email? I mean, you know, don't ask a yes/no question unless you're prepared to get a yes/no answer. She might say, I mean, I've been on a million calls. They say, look, I get a million emails, follow up in a month. Say, hey, can I get your email, and I'll send you some documentation, and then we can schedule a follow up or something like that. I think I'd be more emphatic, but just technique.
Awesome. And Sean, so I'm hearing a yes for a follow up. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, yes for a follow up. Definitely, it was good call. I mean, I think, you know, like I said, I just, you know, yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Sean. Bella Verita.
Next up, we got Brett. Brett, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chico?
Yeah, thanks, Chico. I really liked your approach, especially like this is the biggest thing and our biggest hurdle that I've had to understand in my business is the seek to understand rather than to be understood. And you did that. You did that perfectly with Bella. You got to understand what her pain point was. Before you're trying to push what you were even doing, you wanted to know more about what it is that she needed. And that was that's my feedback for you, is that was really, really good to build that rapport with her initially, to have her more, you know, wanting to come and take what you're giving, if you will.
Awesome, Brett. Like cup of coffee follow-up, dinner follow-up, or something more extensive?
I think dinner follow-up, absolutely.
Cool. Let's go. Bella, we're going to get some steaks. I'm hungry. Brett's got it. Let's go.
Brett's got it. Next up, we got Douglas. Douglas, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Toby?
Feedback for Toby. I guess the thing, when he started mentioning like protons and electrons, I think you got to be exceptionally careful that however intelligent you are, that, you know, you kind of speak in layman's term. I think that's vitally important. I'm a hacker by trade, so I know that you kind of knew who you were calling into, but I'm not. Yeah, I do very extensive research, so I might be checking folks' LinkedIn. I know what kind of coffee they like, where they graduated from college. So again, I believe in setting up that rapport even beforehand. So kind of in the back of my mind, I thought I was going to be called, so I was ready to tell Bella. I already met her mom. We was comparing tramp stamps. So whatever so whatever inside information you got. I believe most issues tend to be communication issues. So you can overcome that hurdle. I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
But cup of follow up with, I would start with coffee.
Nice. And Douglas, do not tell Bella's mom what your wife does for a living, and the conversation will never end. Let's go.
Fair enough. Next, let's go. Pete, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chico?
I love Chico's Socratic method of asking the questions and then probing and then following up and asking a deeper question, establishing that rapport with you, and basically getting you to agree that there was certain problems that you identified, even to the point where you said, I didn't recognize that before, but now that you've raised it, I agree with you that that is a problem, and, you know, we need to fix it, or we need to pay more attention to it. So I thought that was a really nice way of pulling the two of you together, and definitely got you intrigued about what his firm could do for you. And so I think at this point, you're in a position for a deeper, richer conversation. And because of the success he had on that short call, I would say dinner is definitely in order. And hell, I'll have a porterhouse with you guys.
Let's go. Pete and Porterhouse. We got some porterhouses coming, Bella Verita. Come on.
Pete and Porterhouses. Last but not least, let's go Nathan. Nathan, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Toby?
Well, for Toby, I would say, man, I know you, and I would definitely, you have so much more charm that I would have turned on right there to get to a personal connection. And I would actually contradict what Sean was sharing, that, you know, technical sales is different from, you know, emotional sales. It's all the same thing. It's about making that personal connection with the person on the other end of the phone. And then the tech stuff, figure out what their need is and how you can solve it with your product, or just maybe they want to talk to somebody interesting because they're used to talking to geeks and nerds all day. I would have maybe tried to go there and turned on your Louisiana charm a little bit, because people make decisions for emotional reasons and back them up with rational reasons. And a little more emotional connection would have served you well and avoided the email trap.
Nice.
That's not. And is that it, Bella? Do I get anything for Chico? Oh, coffee for Toby.
Nice. Thank you for that. Nathan, and Nathan, it's not my contract. You know this, but she makes me do it. Nathan, maybe you could help me out later, but I'll go with it for today. Bella Vrita, over to you.
Yes. So Nathan, everyone, this is the time in the show that I have the honor and the privilege to stick it to my co-host because he thinks Texas is in the West and not the South. And I get to come up with scenarios that he has no idea about, that Nathan gets to choose whether or what he goes to hello to yes on. Neither one of them know anything about the scenarios because I've been cooking them up as the show's been going on. Nathan, ultimately, you can choose one of my scenarios or you can toss them all together and come up with something much harder. Are you ready to hear what I got for you today?
I'm ready.
All right. So option number one is Sean could role play Chico going from hello to yes with Harvey Specter to come into the law firm that's changed names about 442 times on Suits, to come in and offer a coaching program to Harvey Specter and their new crew. But that coaching would have to include the comedy act with Douglas. So that is option number one. Option number two is Sean could role play Austin going from hello to yes with Tom Cruise to get Tom Cruise to donate $100,000 to Austin's charity. So that's option number two, Nathan. And then option number three is Sean would role play Toby going from hello to yes with the secretary of like maybe the CPO of Raytheon to get the secretary to put a meeting on with the buyer for Raytheon, to put a meeting on the calendar with the CPO. So those are the three options that I got for you today. The secretary, Harvey Specter, Tom Cruise. What do you say, Nathan? We're going to see if he can flex his influence muscles or not.
I am very attracted to the Harvey Specter model, except that I would want it to be with Louis Lutz since he owns the associates and is responsible for their misery. But in lieu of that, I think for today, I mean, I'm very tempted right there, but I would love to see him being Austin and getting a yes from Tom Cruise, just because I don't know why that's speaking to me today. Maybe it was the shirts off and patches that Austin was talking about early on, but yeah, there we are. Tom Cruise, Top Gun scenario.
Fantastic. And then Nathan, who is going to play Tom Cruise?
I think in this case, I'm gonna have to go with Austin. Yeah, let's go with Austin. And yeah, because he wanted to be Tom Cruise at one point in his life, and I think he's going to fulfill that dream right now.
Yeah, he deserves to play Tom Cruise. Austin, are you up for playing the role of Tom Cruise? Now, you know that Tom Cruise is not an easy guy. Like, he just doesn't give money, throwing money around. You do know this, right?
I do know this.
Okay.
Know this.
All right.
Good. We can make
Sean,
this work.
and you may want to tell Sean a little bit about your charity, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, so Austin, if you gave me like just two, like the purpose and mission as you would state it.
Yeah, so our mission is to provide the most tailored veteran transition program for top-tier special operations leaders in order to strengthen America's best businesses with elite veteran talent. Simply stated, that means we take the operator, those that have been assessed, selected, and specifically trained to serve in our special operations community, and we help them make that very difficult transition from what they were doing in the military to a successful civilian career.
Outstanding. And we're having conversation with Tom Cruise. Bella, to have Tom Cruise say yes to what, Bella?
To donate $100,000 to the charity.
Okay. So, hello, is Mr. Cruise available?
Hey, this is Tom.
Wow. Well, Mr. Cruise and This is Austin. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Would it be okay to continue that conversation and have that time now, or is there a better time to connect?
Sean, thanks for calling. Absolutely. Love to talk to you.
Yeah, this is actually Austin, Mr. Cruz. I'm not sure who.
Sorry, Austin, I missed that.
Yeah, I know, but it's still good for Austin.
It's great. Great for Austin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Cruz. I know that you know who you are. I just want you to know that I know who you are and how precious your time is, and how grateful I am for this conversation. And Mr. Cruz, if I could ask, and I will keep it to our 3 minutes, why me and why this conversation today with the endless amount of humans in the world that want to be speaking with you?
Hit me, Austin. Tell me about this. Tell me about what you're looking for today.
I'm looking to know why you accepted this call with me, because I'm not here to pitch anything, and there's something that must have grabbed you to let your team set this up. So I'm just curious what that is, because I want to speak into it, Mr. Cruz.
Well, as you know, Austin, as you might imagine, I'm a patriot, right? So, and I understand the influence that our movies have had on bringing people in to serve and stand and defend this country for all the things that we hold dear. So when I was told by my assistant that you wanted to talk to me about the amazing organization, Special Operators Transition Foundation, I figured, heck, I can't think of a better cause, and would love to hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Well, I thank you for that, Mr. Cruz. So what I'm hearing you say is that you have a deep heart, a deep place in your heart for those that have served and make this country what it is. They love this country. I thought that, but I'm so pleased and thankful to hear that from you, that you want to see what you can possibly do to do even more, potentially. Am I hearing that correctly?
That's correct, Austin.
Yeah. So, Mr. Cruz, then from there, I'd love to share a couple of things in our final minute or so. And I'm not asking you for anything. I want to be abundantly clear. I think that in charitable fundraising, I have this dear friend from the military, Nathan Hansen, who introduced me to this very interesting person who's taught a lot about something called sustainable giving. And one of the things I think a lot of charitable folks do is make the mistake of is falling in love with their own product. I love what we do, but I'm clear, Mr. Cruz, that you have endless choices. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that honoring these special services operators who are literally incredible should be chosen by you above, let's say, helping people who have been victimized by sex trafficking or curing blindness for kids. So what I am here to do, though, is have a conversation of how sustainable value can be profoundly created with your involvement, Mr. Cruz, and what we're up to here. And so what I'm offering is we have some of the greatest leaders in the world that have a translation problem, a transition challenge, moving from what they've done to build the greatest empire in the history of the planet that is run, contrary to popular belief, democratically, empathetically, and respectfully, because I know what we could do to the world and what we don't do. And you know the same. We need to take these leaders and these human beings and transition them into the civilian world, and we need help doing that. Why you, Mr. Cruz? Because there are few celebrities in the history of the world that come even close to you. But Mr. Cruz, unfortunately, and I'm a very real man having very real conversations, I believe a lot of folks have false framed your identity, have tarnished your legacy out of jealousy, resentment, and upset. So, Mr. Cruz, what I'm proposing to you is very simply a 30-minute conversation where I believe that the work we could do together could amplify your already incredible identity to an even different level while doing mind-numbing good for our nation and the world by taking these leaders and moving them from a place where they can begin to understand, when they're in the free space of capitalism, how much the same it is and yet how distinct it is from the world they came from. And if you have that meeting, Mr. Cruz, and I waste your time, I already had this backed up with making a $500,000 donation to your favorite charity, but I will not waste your time, sir. So, Mr. Cruz, how would it resonate with you or not to have a meeting where we can come together to do incredible good and amplify more, even more of your ability to do incredible good, which I will blueprint for you in a PowerPoint, moment for moment, or donate $500,000 to your favorite charity. Please, Mr. Cruz.
Well, Austin, here's the reality of the situation. yes, I would love to have a follow-up meeting with you. And here's why, is the folks in your organization have allowed me to live out my passion and do exactly what I want to do every single day and find tremendous success throughout my acting career. And I've been able to do that without the threat of tyranny and those outside forces taking away my ability and my livelihood. So, sir, I'm going to grant you that meeting, and I will put you in touch with my assistant, and we'll go from there.
Mr. Cruz, thank you. And shall I set that up with your assistant, Tom, who created this meeting today?
Austin, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you my cell phone number, and we can chat after this call. And go ahead. I do need to run into another meeting, but I'll be available today after 3 o'clock, and I would ask you to give me a call.
I will honor that, respect that as a sacred gift, Mr. Cruz, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.
You're awesome.
Out of roll, Austin, how'd I do as you having a conversation with Tom Cruise? You were a fantastic Tom Cruise, sir. And please, how'd I do?
I think you lost that love and feeling, Austin. I really do. No, I think I thought you did great. We're actually going to hire you. So I'm gonna pull all the resources together and see what we can do to get you on the development team. No, I really don't have any critiques. I thought you utilized the time appropriately. I thought you outlined the platform and provided you established that connection with me. We're using Tom Cruise, and I think you were able to, really pinpoint those things that are going to be important to Tom, like his legacy, and like his the perception of him being a philanthropist. So no, I thought it was great.
Awesome. And Austin, is this a not-for-profit that you have? Like this a charitable enterprise? Like
it's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Yes, it is.
Well, then I would be honored to invest $25,000 into your nonprofit, and thank you for what you're doing, because I believe every word I just said. So that would be my gift today.
Wow!
Amazing.
Holy!
Yeah.
That'll really come. He doesn't just say that. You'll really actually get a check.
Oh, thank you very much. I really
thank you.
On
behalf
on behalf of the 300 operators in our program, that's going to make a huge impact on what we're able to do. So I'm blown away, actually, Sean. Thank you very much.
That is a small token of my gratitude for all of you and for what you're doing. And I mean every word that I say. So thank you for that, Austin. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's go, Chico. Thank you so much for stepping into the participant seat. That's never an easy place to be, especially on the other side of Bella Verita asking some questions. Trust me on that one. Chico, please, how was your time today on Nathan Hansen's Heart of Influence?
Oh, this was great. It was good to see other veterans in this space trying to figure it out without a compass and serve as each other's compass. I just got moved to tears watching you donate on the spot to Austin. I've kind of been out there on the alone and unafraid in the nonprofit space, and I know you're going to change lives with that. And when it comes to selling, and being personable while doing it, I learned a lot today by example. I've got an old car salesman monster in my head whenever you talk about networking and sales, and I got to see humanity through the process today.
Amen. Brother, I mean this sincerely. I am not confused of who you guys are. I mean this with every fiber of my being. There's nobody better on earth than me at this. And I mean that. And I'm going to help make sure that we do good things through Nathan and all of it for all the things you guys have done. But I mean that. I wouldn't say that to you guys because I understand your level of mastery, but that is the absolute truth. There's a reason why I broke every sales record on Tony Robbins stage and I wasn't perceived to be salesy, because the greatest salespeople in the world don't sell anything. They enroll people in truth with integrity. And that's what you guys have done for our nation. And I mean that with absolute sincerity. We're going to have some gifts for you guys at the end of this. Please use them. Please use them, because this is as real as anything you could possibly imagine. And I mean that because I've done this for 27 years. And I was in a race against going blind and being broke. And I had a gun to my head, figuratively, to do it. And this is what was created. So thank you for that, Chico, and for being here. Let's go, Brett. Thank you for being in the feedbacker seat. Thank you for having the trust in a world that's full of a bunch of nonsense to jump into this. Brett, how was your time today on Nathan Hansen's Heart of Influence?
It's an absolute blessing to be in a room with professionals that are doing amazing things for our country, similar to what Austin is doing on the nonprofit side, and look forward to just, integrating even more. Pete and I have known each other for quite some time, was golfing in Naples, Florida. So it's awesome to see how much that these groups are starting to integrate to build. And our group is the 10X Vets. And that group is going to do that and has done that for my company and other veterans. So thanks, Sean, for having me. Nathan, it was an absolute blessing. Thanks you, sir.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. And P.S., I need to say this, and I'll let Nathan comment on it later. That was not planned. I had no intention of doing that. Nathan and I didn't talk about it, or Bella. I was so deeply moved today. Straight up. Zero plan, zero conversation. That's like the third time ever on a Heart of Influence that I've done anything like that in the history of the show. So it was unplanned. So I just want that to be very clear. Douglas, thank you. I loved your fun fact, dude. You are hysterical. You are masterful. Super cool to have the honor and privilege of meeting you. And Douglas, how was your time today on Nathan's Heart of Influence?
Phenomenal. I think, all too often it's kind of hard to not necessarily relate, but knowing you around, I guess for lack of a better term, brethren, people that kind of know your plight, kind of, we all come up differently, but we typically kind of end up in the same space. Enjoyed, again, the fellowship, again, the camaraderie, what you guys stand for, and just provide like a glide path. That's something that's just like, hey, everyone has in their mind, kind of what I want to do, but, how do you get after it? And so the fact that you can provide, hey, some structure to that, I think is phenomenal. I love what you guys are doing, and keep it up.
Thank you, Douglas. Appreciate you very much. Bella Rita, please, got some other heroes in the space.
We do have some other heroes in the space. And then I'm going to have to jump, but let's go. Sean got his driver's license, his pilot license for driver's license. Sean, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Oh, it was great. I really appreciate it. It's good. Thanks, Nathan, for bringing me in. For years, Nathan held a grudge against me because I negotiated so strongly to get him to sell his bicycle when he left Korea for $290. And he used to call me the bike stealer. And we used to mountain bike in Korea. And then so I was going around Santa Monica one day, and he used to call me cheap. And so he's probably a little correct there. And so I bought a cheap lock, and my bike got stolen. And I'm not saying Nate stole the bike, but no one knows his whereabouts around that time. But I told him that story, and he laughed and made fun of me for it. So I didn't think he liked me. So it was nice that he actually reached back out, and we got reconnected a number of years ago. And so no, it was good. It was actually good. And I'm joking a lot. Not about that. It's all mostly true on that story. But no, it was good. Honestly, I take sales like more of a relationship, and Nate brought up a good point. There's always never a shortage, never pass up an opportunity to try to build relationships. Brett said something I wrote down: seek to understand versus seek to be understood, and I like that because I'm going to keep that for myself. And I always think I say before I meet with prospects and clients, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. So this is candidly good for me to reinforce sales because I've been doing it for 19 years, and and I don't take a day where I take it for granted. So it's always great to reconnect and hear other people's stories too. So I don't get people to have to suffer through a sales demo, and other people get to listen. So that was good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome, Sean. And just like everybody's clear, one of the aspects of what we do is we teach human influence for sure, but a foundational piece of this that we teach is it's far greater to exponentially grow your quality sales meetings than even is to increase conversions of meetings. Like, how do you create exponentially more sales meetings is very much the foundation of what I believe in, because business is really nothing more than marketing and innovation, according to the creator of the modern MBA program, Peter Drucker. So that's the foundational component for us, like not just like convert sales better, but how do we create exponentially more opportunities at like profound levels. So Sean, thank you for that. Bella, please.
Let's go with the man who made me smarter with electrons and pythons and all kinds of fun things. Toby, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence? I feel so much smarter since I met you.
I don't believe that though. I think you're jacking me. No, I love Nate Hansen. I dived in because of my relationship with him, and I think what I learned a ton through the time here, but it also stuck out to me of, I got out of the Air Force in 1999, and I've been in the hedge fund capital markets world, and it's so rough and so skeptical, unfriendly. So here, how to fly. The fact that I'm on this call with all these brothers in arms and haven't seen Sean since 1995 when we graduated, and Pete and Brett, I'm connected to Scott Mackes and Bill Militello. I mean, it's pretty cool. And I guess lastly, I just say, to you, Sean, this is the passage that sticks in my mind. I just put it in the chat. It's Proverbs 20, verse 5. The purpose of a man's heart is deep waters, but a man of understanding is able to draw them out. And I think that's what you're doing. And you're skilled. You probably know way more scripture than you even realize.
My that funding comes from my Callagee Christian Foundation. So we are aligned, brother, for sure. And I don't raise any money for my charitable foundation. It's all my own tithing. So we are fully aligned. So thank you.
And I think last but not least, before we get to Nathan, I think that takes us to the person who had more visitors, I think, than President Nixon it was. Pete, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence? And then Sean, I'm going to leave it to you and go kick off the next show, and I will see you in a minute.
Yes.
Bye, Nathan, and everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your service, and I look forward to seeing you, and over to you.
Bye, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Great job.
This was really fun. I like being put in uncomfortable places on occasion, not always, but I was up for the challenge. And I appreciate appreciate Nathan making that invitation. One of the things I was impressed with Nathan is a lot of pilots, military pilots, go right into becoming airline pilots and don't take a business course. But Nathan, I saw, was willing to do both, use his piloting skills to support his business endeavors. And so that impressed me. And of course, seeing the other folks that were on this call today that I knew and respect, I really appreciate it. And then I'm really glad I got the opportunity to listen to the back and forth between you, Sean, and Austin about what he's doing with his nonprofit, because one of the things that we've developed, and we actually launched a company to create an AI version of my brand strategy work, of which the first app is on purpose, vision, and mission. And so I'd love to figure out a way for Austin and you and I to help your team develop their purpose, vision, and mission, so that then they can take those amazing skills and go do what they love in this new world. So thank you so much.
Pete, we'll be connected.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Pete, for that. And Nathan will certainly connect everybody up. So thank you, Pete. Nathan, we've gone over a few minutes. Thank you, everybody, for that time. I will always be very direct. Being on time is not my greatest masterful skill set. Nathan knows, but we deliver. So Nathan, please, thank you for everything. Your final. We'll be wrapped up in about 2 minutes, everybody. Nathan.
Yeah, Sean, I just, first of all, I didn't even think you were going to be here today. Because I got told Andrea was going to run the show because you were doing the Mass Mutual event, and so the fact that you made it.
First of all, no way would I have done that to you. So I don't know how that possibly got relayed to you incorrectly. There's no possibility that was ever happening. Like, that was just a miscommunication by somebody. There's no way that I was missing your show for speaking engagement. It wasn't happening. But over to you.
But dude, I mean, my point is that. Thank you. And then what you did at the end there with Austin, I mean, I was moved to tears 3 times on this show. And it's because of the amazing, just who you guys are. And excuse me. I didn't, when I bring a room together like this, a lot of times you don't know what it's going to be like, but anytime I bring veterans together, the brotherhood, and it takes you back to a place where, mission was everything, and you relied on the guy next to you, and the love, and it is just the purest form of love and presence and mission that a man can experience. And that's what I felt today in this room from you guys. And Sean, thank you so much for what you do. I learned, like, every time I watch you, I picked up something new about how you pattern recognize Tom Cruise and the false framing of him, and speaking into something that probably nobody else thinks about with him. And it was just a beautiful nuance of how to understand people and recognize their patterns so you can deliver truth to them. And that was absolutely masterful. I'm going to connect all you guys. I got all everybody's information. I'm going to put it all in a text. You'll get everything. So don't worry about dropping it in the chat or anything. There is a couple things in the chat there if you would like to and I will make sure everybody gets those as well. And lastly, Chico, there is a webinar tonight, is there not, Sean, for attorneys that you're specifically putting on this evening? I heard that on another call. I did not get the link. And I immediately thought Chico was going to be on this call this afternoon. It might be something he might want to attend.
There's more than one.
And that's it.
I'll happily provide that link. Nathan, you can advance to Chico if that resonates. It's about building, growing, scaling law firm. I have a 120 person law firm and, core expertise. So it's our gift to you as well. 3 quick gifts for everybody. Thank you for being here. And I would be remiss if I didn't say this. I know we're way over time, but I'm going to say it. I think it's insane that peak performance athletes do not translate that into business. I was Division I college baseball player, 4-year starter at Columbia, Ivy League runner-up Rookie of the Year, captain of the Columbia University baseball team, unanimously selected, my senior year. And few people translate peak performance athletics into the next level of their life. However crazy that is in athletics, it's 100 times crazier from folks that have been in the military, especially people who've risen to officer status, et cetera. That is the craziest leakage. That's why I was so deeply moved by Austin's work, because of course, it's nuts. And Pete said about being in uncomfortable situations. I mean, all you dudes have risked your life, literally, but it's crazy that people's egos and fear of rejection stop them from profoundly and exponentially growing a business the way it's possible. I think human beings would rather risk being shot than risk being rejected in a sales dynamic. I truly believe that. Not have it happen, but risk it happening. So this and many other things, the foundational study of my life for the past 27 years. 3 gifts for you guys. These are not funnel throwaways. I would never disgrace my reputation, my time by giving something valueless. The first is to come back next Wednesday in the morning to meet some really extraordinary people, be trained on influence for 45 minutes. If this is worth your time, promise that's worth your time. There'll be 100+ people there. You get to meet some of the cool people, but have profound takeaways. Second, a textbook on group influence. We actually need another book on public speaking, leadership, and management. We really do. 100% we do. Because I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere. And I'm going to say one incredible thing. I have such respect for David Goggins and everything he's ever done. I've read his book, but I would say this to David Goggins if he's here. How come I raise more money for charity, David Goggins, than you do? How could that be possible? You could put your body and your mind and your spirit through so much, special forces, athlete and beyond, because there's a skill set you don't possess. That's what I would say. This book covers that skill set. Second. Third, we have a business acceleration session, a mission acceleration session. It is not an infomercial and a bunch of bullshit to sell you something. It is profoundly, mind-blowingly incredible. That's why Nathan's here. And I put that on my reputation. You guys know a lot of people, and you can say this guy's full of shit. You'll never say it. I want to work with people in the military. I want to take this work forward. I know that Nathan does. And check it out. Vet it, but my only request is vet it through the prism of skepticism, not cynicism. The cynic says, I don't believe in anything, no matter what they see. The skeptic says, I'm not sure. Prove it to me. And when it's proven, they become an evangelist for it. So come with a skeptical mind, not a cynical mind. If it's cynical, please, let's just part ways today. Skeptics are welcome, cynics are not. Appreciate all of you for your service. And I end every show by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain the possibilities to accelerate sit right in front of all of us. But at some level, with those possibilities for a massive acceleration sitting right here, at some level, everyone, Nathan, everyone, at some level, we are all blind and just learning to see. Love you and thank you for everything done for our nation, for me, and for the freedom to have a show like this, to make money, give to charity, cause things. You guys create that. Thank you. See you soon. Great job, Nathan.
God bless you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for the
you guys. Nice
opportunity.
meeting y'all.
Thanks.
I'll catch up with y'all later.
See
Okay,
you.
thanks, Nate.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
See you,
you.
Sean.
Looking forward to connecting with all you guys.